So tell me the difference between these two Tucsons within 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. So hey guys, welcome back to another video. So those of you with a keen eye probably already know the difference between the two Tucsons behind me, but I want to bring you another interesting comparison video because some of you guys seem to really like those videos, and the Tucson versus Santa Fe video is doing pretty well here on the channel. So I figured I'd bring you another interesting comparison that maybe not a lot of other people will show you here on YouTube. So the two Tucsons behind me are a limited as well as an SEL convenience package. Now you might be thinking, well, those two trims don't really compete, do they? And you're right, they don't compete, and they are fairly far apart in terms of price point. However, I got to thinking the other day, these might be the two most common trims you'll see sitting next to each other on dealership lots. So if that's really the case, I think this is a very valid comparison. So quickly, before we get into this video, I want to give you 3 reasons as to why I want to do this comparison. Now, the first one is the SEL convenience package is the trim level Hyundai uses to build upon or add to for the higher trim levels given the XRT, the N-Line, and the Limited. Now the XRT is obviously the more rugged appearance on the outside, but most of the equipment is going to be based on the SEL convenience with just a few more additions here and there, such as the 10.25-inch infotainment system and a couple other things as well. Now similarly, the N-Line is the N-inspired exterior appearance package with some interior bits as well, but overall it is very similar to the SEL convenience package, and once again builds on top of the equipment that trim offers. Now once we get to the Limited, obviously this is the most fully loaded Tucson you can buy, so there's like about 25 additional features and options over that SEL convenience package. However, it still uses that SEL convenience as the base starting point for the Limited. So hopefully you understand where I'm coming from there, that the SEL convenience is a pretty pivotal trim inside the Tucson's lineup. So the next one I might have already briefly mentioned here, but I think these are two of the most popular trims you'll see sitting next to each other on dealership lots. Now the XRT and N-Line obviously sit between the SEL convenience and that Limited. However, those two are kind of more niche trims, and I'm not sure that Hyundai builds the same amount of volume as they do the Limited as well as the SEL and SEL convenience. So that might be a reason why they're not so popular, but they're definitely in between these two trim levels, so keep that in mind. However, I just think these two are more popular on dealership lots. And once again, I realize the price point between these two vehicles are fairly far off. However, if people come to shop for a new Tucson and see what's available on the lot, which isn't a lot right now, but once inventory obviously gets a little bit better, these are the two trim levels they might be faced with when shopping for a Tucson for the very first time. And the last one is simply because they look very similar at quick glance from the exterior, especially when they're painted in the same exterior color like I have here today. So those are my 3 reasons why I'm going to be doing this comparison video for you guys. And once again, I don't think this is shown too much on YouTube, so it might be a valid comparison, even though again, the price point is a little bit of a stretch. But I think there are some people that might cross shop these two out there. And regardless, if you found this video while searching for Tucson comparison videos, chances are you're at least somewhat interested in the side-by-side comparison of these two trims. So once again, hopefully this helps you out and clears up any differences that you might have or want to know about these two Tucsons. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below and I'll definitely get back to you. So like I said, I have dedicated videos here on the channel that shows each of these two trims, so I don't want to spend too much time on each vehicle, but I do want to show you the key differences on the exterior as well as the interior and some of the options as well. So on my right, I have the Limited trim, and on my left, I have the SEL convenience. So right away, you might be able to tell a difference between the two in the grille and the front bumper design. We'll go ahead and start on the SEL convenience. You can see you still do have the LED daytime running lights that flank either side of the grille, but the grille and the lights are going to be a little bit different of a finish. So this one's like a graphite gray metallic color with the chrome Hyundai emblem. The daytime running lights kind of stand out a little bit more, and you'll find LED reflector headlights on this model. We're moving over to the Limited. You'll immediately see that darkened chrome that kind of goes over the daytime running lights and finishes the entire grille. Beneath the Hyundai emblem, you'll see the front camera for the 360 camera system. LED projector headlights, which are a good upgrade over the reflectors. And then you'll see the parking sensors for the remote smart parking assist. And that darkened chrome trim kind of runs along the lower bumper, whereas the SEL convenience has the more bright silver. So that's going to be your main difference in the front of these two Tucsons. So I guess I'll kind of go down the middle and point out the differences between the two. So starting out on the SEL convenience, black plastic mirror housing, body color, LED turn signal indicator. They're going to be heated mirrors with blind spot detection. Now moving over to the Limited, you can see this is kind of the bright chrome or satin chrome look. Still body color, still LED turn signal indicator. You have your camera for the blind spot view monitor and other reasons. Here on the mirror, still heated, still have blind spot detection. Door handles are going to be the same on both of these vehicles as they both have Hyundai Digital Key 1 for Android compatible devices. We can see here on the SEL Convenience, take a look at the trim around the windows as well as the roof rails up top. Here on the Limited, very subtle differences between the two, but the main difference is the gloss black B pillar trim, C pillar trim, and here on the rear spoiler, this is going to be the matte black plastic here on the B and C pillars as well as here on the tailgate. So those are the differences there between the two. See, the wheel designs are going to be identical between these two vehicles. Both 19-inch machine / black or graphite finish wheels. Now it is interesting, this is a front wheel drive Convenience and this is an all-wheel drive Limited. You can see right away this has the Michelin Primacy AS tires and this one has a Kumo HP 71 all-season tire. So that is a difference. I thought in the video I did of the SEL Convenience all-wheel drive that it did have a Michelin tire on it. I'll have to double check that. Now coming out back of the Limited, you're going to find LED taillights on both of these vehicles with the incandescent turn signals and reverse lights down below. This one has the rear parking sensors along with the darker gray silver trim on the lower bumper. Here's some of that darkened chrome right here. Still have your Hyundai emblem. The wipers located up in the spoiler on both these vehicles. So there's the back of the Limited. So moving over to the SEL Convenience, you'll see right away that the lower trim is going to be different. No silver accent here on the bumper. Lights are in the same location, no parking sensors, and the silver trim that runs along them is not the darkened chrome, but rather a dark silver. See, the wiper and everything's going to be in the same location, but those are the key exterior differences between these two vehicles, other than the panoramic sunroof found on the Limited over here, as well as the N-Line for 2023. And the SEL Convenience is just going to have the single conventional type of sunroof. So that is pretty much it for the exterior differences between the two. Let's go ahead and hop on the inside and I'll show you the differences there. So I'm going to start out here with the SEL Convenience. Now this trim did get the H-Tech leatherette seating surfaces for 2023, which is a new addition. So this will make it look very similar, or even more similar to the Limited that I'll show you here in a second. Starting out on the door panel, you're going to find differences here immediately between these two trims. Once I show you the Limited, it's going to have soft touch uppers here, some cloth accent, padded armrest right here, but you'll notice there's no gloss black plastic around the window switches or anything like that, which I'll again point out once we get to the Limited. Power windows, mirrors, locks, silver accented door handle pull. So nothing really big there. Some storage down below. No premium audio on this trim. You do get the power driver's seat with two-way power lumbar. And once again, this is the H-Tech leatherette seating. And I'll go ahead and give you my opinions on this later in the video between the two. But these are very soft and very plush for what they are. So here to the left of the steering wheel really quick, your power tailgate release, gauge illumination, traction control, some more of that cloth accent along the dash panel. Start it up so I can straighten out the steering wheel. So you can see this is the first trim to get the 10.25-inch digital gauge cluster for all Tucsons. So both the Limited and this one are going to have it, although some of the features are going to differ between the two. Leather wrap steering wheel, silver accents, smart cruise control, lane following assist. No highway driving assist on the SEL Convenience, but you will get that on the XRT, N-Line, as well as the Limited, because they have the 10.25-inch system with built-in navigation. Automatic headlights, auto high beam assist, no difference there. No rain sensing wipers, however you do get rain sensing wipers on that Limited. 8-inch regular infotainment system, so that is one of the key differences on the inside. Still have dual zone automatic climate control. Wireless charging with Hyundai digital keypad in both of them down here. And one other big difference to point out between the two is the center console design in this area is very different. You'll see once we jump in the Limited that the entire layout right here is going to be different, mainly due to the lack of a gear selection because it has the push button gear selection. So that's something to keep an eye out for. Only heated seats in the Convenience. This one's not all-wheel drive, so it's missing the center differential lock, but again, that is available and standard on the SEL Conveniences with all-wheel drive. So everything feature-wise is going to be mainly similar right here. Here's the key fob, still has remote start on the fob. but no remote smart parking assist like that Limited over there. So that's another big difference. Armrest is going to be pretty similar between them, no big difference there. Light colored headliner in this particular model. Auto dimming rear view mirror, no garage home link on the SEL Convenience. It is standard on the XRT and up. LED interior lighting, sunroof control. Once again, some of your stuff up there. Just the standard smaller sunroof once again. Still a good amount of light that gets let in from it. And some people might not want the panoramic, so this is a perfect trim for them. Go ahead and show you the back seat of the SEL Convenience really quick. So the materials are not going to fall through, so you're going to have a hard touch armrest, hard touch upper, still have some of that cloth accent there on the door. Seats are still going to have the same materials in terms of that leatherette. They do recline on all trims of the Tucson. Center armrest, 60/40 split folding. AC vents, 2 USB-A charge ports, 2 map nets on the backs of the front seats. Show you the front seat really quick. So yeah, that is pretty much all there is to show you in terms of the interior space on the SEL Convenience. So now we'll go ahead and jump over to the Limited. So immediately opening the door on the Limited, you'll see a couple things that do stand out. Like I mentioned on the door panel, still soft touch uppers, same cloth accents, but you have a much nicer padded armrest with some accent stitching here. Gloss black trim around the windows and mirror switches. 2-person memory seats up here on the driver's side. This is the only trim with the memory seat option for the Tucsons. Still have your silver pole handle there. Good amount of storage down below, and this one does have the Bose premium audio system, which comes in the N line and higher. So once again, this is the black leather seating. So these are leather. They're supposed to be real leather anyway versus the leatherette on the SEL Convenience. Still power with 2-way power lumbar. You can see immediately you have some accent piping here on the outsides of the seats, as well as a silver accent on the backs of the front seats. So that is a difference between the two. But other than that, the seat design appears to be the exact same between them in terms of the stitching here on the bottoms and the backrests and everything like that. So the seats seem identical, just a different material on them. Take a look at the dash. You still have some of that cloth accent like I mentioned. Same controls to the left of the steering wheel. Go ahead and get in, start it up. So getting in, you'll see the same 10.25-inch digital gauge cluster as that SEL Convenience over there. But like I mentioned on the exterior, you have the cameras in the mirrors, which allow the functionality for the blind spot view monitor system. So that is one of the key differences in functionality between the two, but a lot of the other functions are going to be the same. Leather wrap steering wheel, same silver trim accent. This is a heated steering wheel, which again is a difference between the SEL Convenience over there. And this one does get the paddle shifters on the back, so you can manually control the gears in terms of this transmission. Automatic headlights with auto high beam assist. Rain sensing wipers. Moving over to the infotainment system, this has the 10.25-inch screen with built-in navigation. So again, another key difference, still dual zone automatic climate control. And like I mentioned, the center console design is going to be entirely different between them two. You can see this is the push button gear selection or shift by wire versus the normal column shift. Still have your wireless charging pad with Hyundai digital key down here, a little bit different layout. Armrest is going to be very similar, like I said, maybe a little different design here. In terms of the proximity key, remote smart parking assist, but all the other functions are going to be the same. So moving up to the headliner, once again, light gray headliner, auto dimming rear view mirror with garage home link built in. Still have your same buttons up here, LED lighting, sunroof control. And speaking of the sunroof, this does get the panoramic sunroof versus the single conventional type. So jumping to the back of the Limited, you're going to see a lot of the materials are going to be very similar, but there are some key differences once again. Now starting on the door panel, hard touch uppers, same cloth between the two. However, you're going to get a nicer padded armrest with the leather stitching once again and the gloss black accents around the handle. Rear heated seats, which is a difference. This is the only trim with the rear heated seat option in the Tucsons. Same black leather as the front with the reclining function. Seats are going to be 60-40 split once again. Still have the center armrest, 2 cup holders. There's the rear seat map nets, 2 AC vents, 2 USB-A charging ports, so that is all the same between the two. But the big difference is, once again, that panoramic sunroof that extends basically to the seat backs here in the second row and lets in a ton more light versus that regular sunroof. So if you want that open air feel, the Limited or the N-Line might be the trim to get for that panoramic roof. So here in the back of the SEL Convenience, the cargo space should be very similar between the two. So I'm going to show you both of them. I don't think there's any real difference in the cargo area. Again, the accessories might vary between the two vehicles. You still have your handle releases to fold down the second row seats in both vehicles. Light on the left side, 12-volt outlet. Spare tire. But yeah, other than that, they should be very identical. I'll go ahead and walk over here to the Limited to show you the differences, if any. So as you can see, the accessories are going to be very similar between the two. 12-volt outlet, as well as your light here on the left side. I guess one difference I did forget is that premium audio gives you the subwoofer, which is located on the right side in the trunk area. So that is a key difference. Still have the spare tire. But other than that, other than the subwoofer, and depending on the accessories, once again, the cargo area is going to be the same in both of these two trims. So under the hood of these two Tucsons, you're going to find the same 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine. This puts out 191 horsepower and 181 pound-feet of torque through either front-wheel drive like seen over here, or all-wheel drive, which is available on both of these two trims and across most, if not all, of the Tucson lineups. So keep that in mind. Same powertrain. There's really no differences in these, except if you get the hybrid powertrain in the Tucsons, you do get the 1.6 liter turbo with, of course, the electric motor, which is a little bit bigger or stronger in the plug-in hybrid version. So keep that in mind, that most Tucsons are going to get the same 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. And one thing I forgot to mention is my opinion on the leather versus the leatherette seating surfaces. So the SEL Convenience, along with the XRT, has the H-Tex leatherette seats versus the Limited, which has the leather. I'm assuming they're supposed to be full leather or real leather. And I have to say, I actually preferred the leatherette seating surfaces in the SEL Convenience. Not that the leather is hard or anything in this Limited trim. It just felt like the leatherette was a little bit more pliable, a little bit softer, and maybe not as coarse as the leather was. So that might be a big difference or determining factor if you happen to be looking at these two trims. Make sure to sit in both seats. Make sure to judge the comfort for yourself. Like I said, these Limited leather seats are not bad whatsoever. I just felt like the SEL Convenience leatherette was just a hair or slightly better. But like I said, judge the seat material for yourself. But honestly, I like the leatherette and I was definitely impressed. So that's going to wrap up this comparison video between the Limited and SEL Convenience Tucsons. As you can see, there's not a ton of differences, but there are some smaller differences people often overlook or don't think about in terms of the door panels, some of the materials there. But obviously, in terms of features and equipment is where most of the difference is going to occur between them. So now you might be wondering, in terms of pricing, what is the exact price difference between these two trims? Well, obviously I have one front-wheel drive, so I can't evenly compare that. But if that was an all-wheel drive convenience package Tucson, that would start at $33,095, including destination, and the Limited all-wheel drive starts at $38,505, which makes the price difference $5,410. So once again, that is quite a bit of money between the two, but I think there's quite a bit of value in that Limited over there. Again, if you want or need all of those equipment or features and options, as the SEL Convenience has a lot in it, again, for that $33,000 mark, including destination, and that's again, if you get the all-wheel drive. Since this one's front-wheel drive, it comes in just over $31,000 and some change, again, depending on the accessories and the color cost. So that is the difference between these two in terms of pricing, as well as some of the features and options. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this comparison between the two. If you have any questions or comments on these trims or anything else about the Tucson or Hyundai stuff in general, make sure to leave a comment below. I'll definitely get back to you. Now, if you guys did enjoy this video or found it helpful, please hit that like button. It greatly helps out these videos. If you guys are new and not subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Check out some of the other content available here on the channel. Like I said, a bunch of Hyundai stuff, bunch of Tucson, Chevy stuff, model year changes. Just go check it out if you're interested and like automotive content. I bet you'll find some stuff that you really enjoy. So with all that being said, let me know your thoughts on these two Tucson trims below. I'd love to hear which one you think is the better value. Do you own one or the other? Let me know how your ownership experience is going and everything like that. And as always, I hope to see you guys in the next video.